I just squared this off. The next thing I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to cut along these lines. I'm not going to completely cut through, but I'm going to mark them. These are on 1/4 inch, and these will be the top and the bottom sections of the insect trap that I'm building. The other pieces, which were also turned, they're like so, and you see the little magnets. And then I have these pieces. Now this is a 3/4 inch trap. Anything 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch easily gets inside. If I'm after 1/2 inch insects, then I put my 1/2 inch filter on here, and the magnets hold this on. These are small magnets, and I have not yet glued the metal onto this, but then that will hold this in place. And when I'm ready to put the insects into the kill jar, I'll just merely put a plug into this, and then I'll pick the whole lid up, and I'll just set it down into the kill jar and go from there. What this piece right here that I'm doing, what this will do is this will allow me to have a top and a bottom piece of a filter. I did find a screen that would work, and it would work well, but it was $50 for this 2 inch. Now this is 2.5, but for a 2 inch it was $50, and that would be an inside filter that goes inside a spray tank to collect particles as they go into the tank to keep the tank clean. But this is much cheaper, so this is what I'm going with. Slight change in plans here. I found that I can go ahead and cut these off just like so. Now when I come into this last one here, and I need to check on this one. No, this one we're still good. This one right here, this last dot, is going to be a bit of a problem because I'm going to be right up against the dogs that are holding this in place. So let's go ahead and get this cut. Let's back this off. And I am running about 1200 RPM, and I'm bumping it and backing off, bumping it and backing off. But you saw that. As soon as I get this done, I'll move my cutter into position over here, and I will groove this. And the purpose of grooving that is so that I can put the screen into that and then epoxy it in place for the bug trap. Now I'm using cut-off high-speed steel to actually groove this, and I use the coarse adjust to come in and touch off. From here on, I'll start using the fine adjust, which is in 10,000ths of an inch. See if I can get this so you can see it. And I just kind of aggressively push into it until I have the depth that I need, which is slightly more than 1/8 inch. Remember, these rings are only 1/4 inch, so I'm boring in basically 1/2 its depth. So now I turn it down and I'll measure it and see where I sit and see if I'm at the right depth. And that's how I'm making these rings. You saw me cut them. Now I'm putting the grooves in them. Now each ring will have one groove where the wire netting will fit, and then the other half will be epoxied up to the insect trap lid. and the other piece will have magnets attached to it, which will have a metal plate that sits on there, so that when it's time to remove the insects, you just remove the plate and you've got your insects. You can see the groove in here. Now I've got a shop light, and I need that light in order to be able to see, but it's kind of washing out the image. But you see the groove goes all the way around. This groove is slightly out from about 1/16 of an inch, which my wire will fit into with no problem. And my trap will be about 2 inches in length, maybe 2 1/4 inches. And then this bottom side right here, I'll be drilling this out and I'll be putting some magnets into it, probably 6. The magnets, these are really cool. These magnets I got at Hobby Lobby, and they are incredibly small. That's 2 of them right there, if you can see that. See if I can zoom in on it. They're about 1/8 of an inch in diameter, and they're about 1/8 of an inch long. And I got 24 of these, I think, for about $5. And they'll work good in this. I'll just space them, and then what I'll do is I'll find a washer that fits this, or I'll get a piece of metal and I'll turn it and cut it to fit some type of a, or maybe even a can lid, who knows, and just put a little bead on the bottom of it. You can grab onto it and pull it out, and that'll work. Can lids are cheap. And then we'll have the insect trap finished. Now the wire that I'm using is either 80 or 90 stainless, which is what I bought for my well that I'm drilling. And we'll go take a look at that in just a minute. That'll be my next video. And I learned that what I need is 200 screen. 200 screen will keep sand out. Now there's some particulate matter that can go through that, but it is light enough that it should stay in suspension and be sucked out so that the well would be basically clean. All you would need to do is just set up a settling tank between where the water's pumping out and till it goes to domestic use. Another way of doing that would be to have a filtering system, but a settling tank would work. A settling tank would be cheap, and every so often you dump the water and get a brush and flush it out, and it cleans itself out. I like the settling tank more than I do the filter, because the settling tank doesn't cost anything once you've bought it. Let's go take a look at the well that I'm getting ready to drill. I'll show you that setup real quick.